everyone, this is Rob Roy and welcome to the Elliott Wave Options U.S. Market Update. I'm entitling this recording The Sound of Silence. And by the way, I'm curious, leave us a note, which of the versions of The Sound of Silence do you prefer? The classic Simon & Garfunkel version or the newer version from the rock band Disturbed? I think it was pretty bold for a rock band to take on such an iconic song like that, at least a heavy metal rock band, but I think they did an admirable job. I think it's a very good version of the song, but curious to see what you think. And while you're at that, while you're telling us what you like, don't forget to hit that like button underneath this video. But anyway, back to The Sound of Silence. What I mean by that is, for the first week in a long time, there hasn't been, there's still scuttlebutt, but no major news clippings coming out from either side, the U.S. or China, regarding this trade deal. It seems that they both are really intent on signing some sort of a phase one type deal next month, as they told us that they were going to, and hopefully they follow through with that, because the market likes that, and the market, left to its own devices, wants to go up. There hasn't been a whole lot of noise about the impeachment inquiry and all that, so things have settled down from all of the volatile news type of headlines. Now, we do have the FISA report about to come out, and that could change everything. But for now, a quiet market has allowed the market to drift up. Let's take a look at the charts. So here's that drift up in the market that I was talking about in the intro. You can clearly see how we've moved to the upside off of those lows back on the 3rd of October and maintained this upward trend. I do like when the trend's at a 45-degree angle. They tend to hold more, but it's pretty easy to see where we are. We're right at the all-time highs and could act as a major resistance. Do we get any sort of bombshells out of that FISA report when it comes out? A lot of people think there will be. Who knows? That's the great unknown that's occurring right now. But if we take off this arrow and put on the moving averages, you can see with the 10-day moving average, we had gotten just a touch overbought. That occurred on Friday, so a little bit of a quiet start to the week is understandable and warranted for the market to try to gather some sort of momentum to make a run at breaking those highs. If we break above those highs, then obviously it's going to bring in some short covering, and that could set us off to a bit more of a leg higher before the move begins to run out of gas. We have a seasonally, at least most years, positive time for the market. Again, as mentioned, not so last year, but normally it is. So let's see if the market can move to the upside from here. Now, I talked about the quiet news and a little tongue-in-cheek, but also really curious as to which version of The Sound of Silence you like. But I really think this has had an awful lot to do with why the market has moved up as well, as the dollar has been coming down. That really strong dollar was making it challenging. The market doesn't like it when the dollar gets strong like that. It's tough for international business based on currency exchanges, etc. And so this weakening dollar has certainly given a little bit of rise, a little bit of support, I should say, to the rise in the market. The problem here is, if I'm right, and that's had something to do with it, we're right at that 61.8% fib retracement. Look at that, 62%, right at the 61.8% fib retracement level, and that could act as an awful lot of support. Obviously, a little bit of a bounce in the dollar today, and then potential wave 5 extension to the upside. So if the dollar begins to get stronger from here, it will likely bounce off this level, whether it's a sustained bounce or not, because it's such a strong Fibonacci level. It's my favorite one. I think it's the strongest of all the fib levels, and a little bit of a bounce here might make it a little challenging for the market to move higher, or perhaps there's enough strength for it to power through. But there is still some room here. A couple more sideways days I don't think would be a bad thing. In fact, consolidating right underneath that trend line would be a good thing as far as being able to power through. You don't like it to be an extended consolidation, because those tend to fail and then we head back down. but a bit of a consolidation there could set the momentum and energy to break to the upside. But this is going to be the problem. This is going to be the challenge. If the dollar bounces very strongly from here, then it would be a very impressive move out of the market to get there. Also, looking at the VIX is moving down into a lower area, but it's only at 14. There's still room for the VIX to go lower. In other words, the market to go higher, so it has room. We've shown this many times here with the level of 12 as recent support, and then if we go back further, we get all the way back down into the end of 2017, and the level of support was all the way down at 9. So we've got plenty of room to the downside, even though we are starting to move back lower again on the VIX. Chart we haven't looked at lately is interest rates, so let's bring that back up. And interest rates have been rising, and it hasn't been a blast off, which is positive for the market. Just a little bit of an increase in the market helps to support the financials. A lot of people believe the market can't go higher without financials. It's been doing all right without them, but maybe to break those highs, we need the support of the financial sector, and this little bit of a rise in interest rates here is certainly going to help that. This 22%, right at the 23% fib level, in my mind, from my works with Elliott Wave, is not a viable support resistance area. We need to get to the 38.2% level. So that may be where we're headed on interest rates, is up to the 38.2% fib level, and then we'll see what happens with rates there. So a little bit of a steady rise to the upside there, supportive to the market as well. So you can see there's a few things that do fall in line with the market moving higher from here, with that one wild card being the dollar, which will win out. It's going to be an interesting week. Be back to talk to you again next week. Take care, everybody.